Okay, I just watched Paxton Lynch complete pro day, every single throw, thanks to the NFL Network. I was unable to attend because I had a client obligation today and the previous day as well, but I digress. Paxton Lynch really showed everyone how good a quarterback he really is. Of the 70 plus 75 throws, he missed five, but I can tell you the ones he missed. Two of them were on corner routes, roll corner routes, but with an asterisk. One thing I noticed when I was watching the NFL Network telecast of the Paxton Lynch Pro Day, and one thing I listened for are the off field, I mean directly off field, right there in Memphis on the field, directly off the sidelines, actions going on and sounds. In that particular instance, prior to the two throws I'm talking about that he missed, on the left hash mark, the camera didn't show, but you could hear them say, "Camera, camera, get the camera off the field." They said that 3 times. Get the camera off the field. And they had to stop play and wait. The NFL Network people didn't point that out. Maybe they weren't aware. But look, I could hear on their telecast these guys saying, "Camera, camera, get the camera out of the way." That seemed to rattle Paxton a little bit. And when you're going through what is essentially a physical job interview, and it's your first major physical job interview, you're already nervous even if you say you're not. That's going to rattle you a little bit. So I wasn't surprised that Paxton missed the next two throws, regardless of the style that they were. And there was a consistent pattern of him overshooting the roll, corner, pass action, pattern combination passes, of which those were the first one to the left, the second one to the right. There was a consistent pattern of that as the day went on. But that said, he only missed 5. So for the most part, what Paxton Lynch showed was a Howard servant arm that he can quite literally direct in any place and get the ball there. That's impressive. I don't see why Paxton Lynch can't be the number one quarterback. He is not mid-round Carson Wentz, high number one. That gap is artificial. Okay, that's marketing. The reality is that Paxton Lynch is right there with Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, right there in the conversation. He's not only in the conversation, he really deserves to be in the top 5. He deserves to be on someone's number 1 list, and I think by the time all is said and done, he will. Now, some of you watching this might say, well, wait a minute. He's never taken a snap from under center. Neither is Jared Goff at Cal. I'm a Golden Bear. I've watched him. Trust me. I know the Sonny Dykes offense. I know the air raid offense. He's never done it. I was at spring ball. He's never done it. Okay? So, why is it okay for for Jared Goff not to take a snap from under center for his entire career, but there's something wrong with it in Paxton Lynch's case, where he has done it in Memphis a few times. It isn't as if you watch game film throughout his career. It's not as if he's never done it. But for the most part, he's never done it. He hasn't done it, excuse me. For the most part, he hasn't done it. So, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Now, the other thing, as far as interruptions, he had the 24-mile-per-hour wind. And it was a blowing wind. You could hear it. It wasn't straight ahead like, okay, he's got this perfect downhill wind. No, it was kind of over here and there and every place else. But then also there were sirens. Almost toward the end of the pro day, about maybe a third of the way through. Excuse me, not a third of the way, 3/4 of the way through. No, yeah, 3/4 of the way through. It was a siren that went on and on and on and on and on. My God. And then someone came up, and this is on the field, with the brilliant idea of throwing a corner blitz at him. He handled it well, did Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch, for any observer, any objective observer, and I'm not objective because Lee Steinberg, his agent, is a friend of mine. I'm being honest with you. Other evaluators will not tell you who their friends are among the agents. I'm telling you, Lee's a friend of mine. So I'm very happy that he has a top product. And now if you haven't followed what I've done prior to watching this video, and now you know Lee's a friend of mine, you can't say, oh, by the way, you've put Paxton Lynch #1 at any point in time. I haven't done that. I have not done that. But after this, I'm tempted to do so. He is outstanding. I mean, when I say #1, I mean among quarterbacks. Okay, I don't mean talent overall. The best talent out there is Mr. Ramsey from Florida State, even over Laramie Tunsil. Okay, even over Laramie Tunsil. That's another video. Back to talking about Paxton Lynch. I've seen Lynch off the field. I've seen him at parties. I saw him at NFL media, Super Bowl media day. I see, not media day, but Super Bowl, NFL Super Bowl Radio Row, excuse me, where I interviewed him down there as well. I've seen him a number of situations enough to say that the feel I have for the young man is he's very even keel, funny guy, not full of himself, appropriately enamored with meeting the stars, but not overwhelmingly so, and obviously focused on the task at hand. I can say that about him. He's that I can definitely say that about him. He's not a person who you have to worry about going off the deep end if he gets a lot of money in the pros or something like that. No, that's not going to happen with this guy. Not only that, Paxton Lynch strikes me as old soul. You know, there are people who are young souls like me. I'm a young soul, okay? But Paxton Lynch is an old soul. That's the other feeling. And you can pick up some of that watching his pro day. Watch how he conducts himself, directing other receivers, talking with the coaches, how he carries himself. He's got that quality about him where he's not afraid to direct men. There's a lot to be said for that. Jameis Winston has that quality. That's a rare quality. So again, I can't fathom, well, I can, but I don't want to go into it here. Paxton Lynch has done an outstanding job for himself. He really has.